Hi everybody, welcome to the recording for the Webmaster Role website assignment. So this is from week 3, and this assignment is a little bit confusing, so what I've chosen to do is give you all of the pieces to it, and then you'll fill in your information and make some changes for your own to make it your own work. And just to give you an idea of how I did this, first let's look at the assignment. And what this says is open the Webmaster essay that you did in Unit 1. So remember, you did that before. You did it as a text document back when we first started the class, essentially. And you did a Webmaster Roles assignment. So you're going to copy and paste that into Notepad. And then once you have it in a Notepad, then you save it as .html. So because you did it before as a text file, but now you want to save it as HTML. So once you have that in Notepad as an HTML document, then you would go to do the work on it. So you can see we're going to use internal CSS, and you learned about that in this unit. Like in parts B and C and D talked about internal CSS. And what they wanted you to do with this, use that CSS to make a new background, change the background color or give it background color, give it title properties, give it text properties, and finally give it citation properties. That's where you found the information. So you do all that work, and then you would save it as cssassignment.html in your Unit 2 folder. So that's what this assignment is. So I'm going to show you what I did to help this along and what you could have done. But again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you all of this information over here, all this HTML coding, and then you'll just go in and put in your own paragraph part and also change some formatting and such. But what I did on this to think about how you could have done this work, the whole thing on your own, if you could have gone back to I think it's section 1. Section 1, Part C. This was when we did the invitation. And when we did the invitation, if you remember, it had CSS in it. See this? This tells us that we're starting CSS, which is called Cascading Style Sheets. And CSS allows you to do formatting on lots of different work in your document. So it had these already set up. It had title text already set up, had background color set up, had site text set up. So it had 3 of those things set up. And of course this one, if you remember from the invitation, it had a table on it, but this assignment we're doing doesn't have a table on it. So all I did, I went in here and I grabbed a bunch of this information that I knew I could use all the way down to here. So I grabbed all of that, so you could see that it had the HTML, the codes that you have to start, like the HTML, the heading code, the title code, and then it had all this CSS code. So I grabbed all that, then I copied it into a blank Notepad document. Then I went back to my my Notepad file from the webmasterroles.txt that we created, went back to that, and then I put it in that same document. So to make a long story short, what you see over here is everything I've done. So let's take a look at this. Starting at the top, there's the HTML command and the heading command. Those always start a document. And if we look at the bottom, we can see there's an ending HTML. You always have to have that. Then you have your title, and the title, we'll see where that goes, but that goes at the top of the web page. We'll see what it looks like. Then you set your styles up. So here's the CSS. This tells the HTML code. It says, hey, I'm going to use CSS style sheets. And I have 4 style sheets. I have a heading one. I have one for the background color of the page. I have one for the body text of the page, and I have one for the citation text of the page. And remember, citation, those are the 2 websites I used for my research. And these are all the parameters to it. Like this one is Arial, size 24, it's bolded, and then it has this color on it. And you can see the other ones and how they're set up. This is Arial size 14, Arial size 12, and they have, as you can see, this has different, they have various colors. So then we close the style. So all of this creates the style sheet, the CSS. That's what you'll need to create CSS. So all of that creates it. And that CSS has to go in the heading. So now here's the closing of the heading and here's the opening of the heading. So CSS has to go in the heading. Excuse me. Then we go down and start putting in our CSS placeholders. For instance, if we look, now I'm going to go back to the assignment. So I'm back at the assignment and I want a background color. So I put in a command right here that says use whatever is set up here. You're going to use the CSS for background color to put the background color on the whole page. So this right here, this is my background color CSS. And I know that this is kind of a yellow right here. This makes a yellow. So now the HTML, the web page, when it sees this code, it runs through this and it says, oh look, they want the body of this web page to have whatever the BG color was for CSS. So then the HTML goes up here and it takes this and it says, okay, that's going to be the color for the background of the page. Okay, now we want to make the heading of our text, and I'm going to show you. It's like, here's my page. So the heading of my text, you can see on my page over here, is Webmaster Roles, and this is a good way to work. See how I have these two pages? Check this out. There, I expanded that page, and now if I hit the button in the middle to restore it down, so I can take these pages and I can make them bigger or smaller, but now I can look at two of them at the same time. This is great because I can work over here on the right and make changes, and I can see them automatically on the left. So getting back to this. This is the title of my page. The heading, essentially. So that's right here, Webmaster Roles, and you can see that it has the configuration of the heading text CSS. Well, here's the heading text CSS up here. You can see it's size 24, it's bolded, and it has this color. Check this out. Watch if I change some numbers on here. Let's see what happens. And I have no idea what color I just put in. So now I'm going to do File, Save. Now I have this web page open already, so I'm just going to refresh, and look, that changes color. So this light blue color right here is this color over here. Now I'm going to take that 1.9 and put a 1 in place of it. Then I'll do File, Save. Then over here I'll refresh, and that didn't make any change to it. So you have to, kind of adjust a little bit. Now the way I got this open over here is I have my web page saved. I just went like this. I'll just do it in a new tab right here. Let me show you how to do that. So watch, I'm going to do File, Open. Then I'm going to browse onto the drive where I keep my files. So of course all of you have a portfolio folder, and I'm calling mine Webmaster Role Practice. They told you to put yours in Unit 2. Mine is Webmaster Role Practice. Open. Okay. So there's the file. So that's how you can run it and look at it in a browser window. So you can see I made that change to this text. So again, all of this that I have highlight right here did this work right here. Now I move down, and this command right here, the P, that means put a paragraph break. There are two types of breaks you can put in. You can put a line break or a paragraph break. Watch this. I'm going to take the P out and I'm going to put BR. That means just a line break. Then I'll do File, Save. Now of course I'm going to refresh my page, so I hit refresh. And look what that did. See, it made a paragraph here, but it took out that or made a line break, but it took out that paragraph break. Now I want to fix it, so I'm going to go back here, put the paragraph break back in, do File, Save, refresh. Now the paragraph break is back in here. So you can see I have a paragraph break here, paragraph break here. Okay, so moving down. Now I have all of this information that I want to be part of my web page. And this is the body of it. This is called body text. So if I refer up here, body text, the CSS code for that is Arial, font size 14, bolded, and this dark blue color. Well, maybe I don't want that to be bold. I'm going to take that bold out of there. Actually, I'm going to do edit undo. I don't want to take that out. Okay, but watch what I'm going to do here. So I get that bold. I right click, cut, so it's out of there. Then I can do File, Save. Now I'll refresh my screen, and look, it took the bold off of all this stuff, didn't it? Now if I want to put that back in, I'll just click right in here, and I'll right click, paste, and it puts that bold command back in. So did you see how I did that? I just temporarily took the bold command out. So I highlighted it, right click, cut, so I took it out, File, saved, refreshed my page so that I could see the change, and if I didn't want that change excuse me, then I'd go back, right click, paste, and I'd put that bold command back in, File, save, refresh, and now I have that bold back in. So that's how easy it is to work on this stuff. So here's the body. This is all that does the body. And the one thing you need to see is that when you start a span class command for a CSS, you have to end it. So see how this one ends that? That slash makes it end. Now check this out. If I take this out, so I'm going to cut that temporarily, then File, Save, refresh. Let's see what it does to the page. It didn't really do much to the page, except it did an extra space down here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in. File, Save, refresh. So it did a little bit of spacing, but you can practice with these things. Take them out and see what everything does. Okay, so now, one way to think about this is this right here is one section of your web page. This right here is another section of your web page. Finally, this is a third section of your web page. And then of course the background color, this yellow, that's the fourth section. So that's what we have here, isn't it? Look at that, we have 4 CSS's here, don't we? So that's how this all works together. So now I need to make sure, since I have these 4 different commands over here, I'll see all 4 of them down here too. Well, here's my body span to put my background color in. And I'll show you how I can change that, because you're going to be required to change the colors. So here's my background color right here. I'm going to change this. I'm going to make these, let's see, 1199. So you have to have 6 characters. So I'm going to do File, Save. Then I'll refresh. Look at that, change that background color to that. Now you might be asking, where did you get the colors? Well, let's go back into our web design course, and we saw the colors back here in invitation assignment, I think. And right here, do you see that? It says colors. Click on that, and it opens up a web page for us that has all these color codes. So I'm going to look at these, and I want to have my background, I want it to be this dark gray right here. So I'm going to take that dark gray, I'm going to highlight that, right click, copy. I'll minimize that to get out of the way. And that dark gray, I want that for my background color right up here. So I'm going to go right here, Control V, File, Save. Now I'm going to go back to Mr. Harrison's web page right here, refresh, and now I have sort of this gray background. It doesn't look as gray as that other one did, does it? So I can make some changes to this. Maybe I want it to be a bunch of A's in there. File, Save, refresh. and that didn't change it. So that's not a good color. I mean, this isn't oh, maybe it's because it has a number sign in there twice. Let's see. File, save, refresh. Yeah, so it had a number sign in there twice. So you can see how you can change things like that very easily over here. Because that's what you're going to have to do, because I'm going to give you the coding. You're going to have to make the changes for your own. So we just talked about the span class for all the body text. So all of this command right here, all of that, does all of this blue. Then finally, our last part is the resources that we looked at, the pages that we cited. Those are the 2 pages. So for the page citing, oh, that's right down here. I called that, right up above here, I called it cite text. So I have to refer to cite text down here. So I set up the CSS right here, and again, this word cite text goes up here and it says take all of this structure right here, all this formatting information, and make it happen on whatever text I see after this but before this. So all that text is right in here. So that's how this works. So then I have, of course, my body closes out and my HTML closes out. So what you're going to do, again, the assignment, let's go back to the assignment, and the assignment says Webmaster Role Web Page Assignment. The assignment says change the background color, the title properties, the text properties, and the citation properties. You're going to change all 4 of those things. Then you're going to save it in your Unit 2 folder as cssassignment.html. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to post my coding, and I'm going to go ahead and make some changes to this right here. So I'm going to put, and the one thing I didn't mention yet, see right up here where it says title? This is different from the heading of my page. So if I go back to my page, this is the heading. But the title is this thing right up here. Do you see the top of the web page where it says Mr. H Webmaster Roles? That's the title. So check this out. If I go over here and I do Harrison, file, save, refresh, now you can see up here at the top it says Mr. Harrison. So this is the title of the web page, but then this right here is what I would consider a heading of the web page. So anyway, you're going to make adjustments to all of these 4 things. You could change the font typeface. For instance, I can make my heading be Times Roman because it understands the words Times Roman if I spell it correctly. So file, save, then I'll refresh my page, and you can see that the words Webmaster Roles changed into Times Roman. But you're going to change the typeface, the colors, the fonts of those 4 items. You're going to put your own title in. You're going to do whatever this needs to be. And I'm going to change that to Mr. H's. So the heading for your document is going to be your name. So look like this, Mr. H's Webmaster Roles. So you'll have to do that. Then you're going to put in your own text material here. You can see where that goes. First paragraph's going to go there. Second paragraph's going to go here. Then you're going to put your 2 resources. So here's what I'm going to do. Watch what I do here. I'm going to put up here I'm going to help you out. Your title goes here. So you're going to put your title in place of my words there. Then down here, this is going to, I'm going to say your heading goes here. So you're going to do that. Then I'm going to say right here, your first paragraph goes here. Then on this, I don't want to take out that span, so I just want to do this one full sentence. Your second paragraph, fix my spelling. Then finally down here, reference Cite 1, reference Cite 2. Whoops. Okay, now I'm going to save this as file, save as, and I'm going to go ahead and call this so I can give it out to you. See, mine's going to be a text file. I'm going to call this Webmaster Role Template, and that's what you will be able to download and then use to build your own. So I call a Webmaster Role Template as a text file. Now if I refresh here, so I'm not going to get any change because this is a text file, but check this out. If I do File, now if I go to save it as the template but as .html, then here's how you're going to make yours .html. Then I'll do Save. Then I can go up here and do File, Open, and I just want to see what this looks like because I put those holders in there. So you can see here's what I put in. So you're going to make all of those changes, and I didn't, whoops, messed up two things here, didn't I? So that's number 1, that's the number 2. So I need to do File. So now I need to save this, resave this as that text document for you to have available to you. And this is what you will open up. You'll download this text document template. You'll open that, and then you'll make the changes with your own data in Notepad. So I think I've covered everything you need to do. I've given you the directions on how to do this. I've given you everything you need to do, and as I said, you just have a few items that you need to fix. So I've really helped you out with this, and so you'll put your own wording in those different places, and of course you'll change the coding on these 4 things to make them work right. So experiment with this, have a little bit of fun with it, make all kinds of different colors. Another spelling error on that. Make sure I save that as the template I did as a text file. Okay. So that's this assignment. Then the last thing you need to do, now this is important. You're going to save this as cssassignment.html in your Unit 2 folder, and when you submit it, you just submit this file. You do not have to zip. The only time you have to zip is when you have multiple files so they can all travel together, move along together. This is just one file. So that's what you'll submit into the Dropbox. So I think I've covered everything you need to do here. I've kind of held your hand to get this all set up for you the right way, to give you all this stuff that can really help you out. All you just do is feed in the information that you're required to do. I hope that helps. I look forward to your work coming in on this. And as long as you follow the directions and save things with the right file names, everything's going to work out great. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.